Yes, hello, good morning. Today is Wednesday and welcome to our show. Today we're gonna be talking about relationship at workplaces. When someone hears about relationship, I know what comes into their mind. Relationship is just something very complicated. You see, sometimes dating at workplace is kind of complicated, and particularly in the era of me too. Not always, but I once had a crush on someone whom I met at the place of work, and this person was really so fascinating. She was really very beautiful, and I couldn't hold myself back, but had to go straight to her. Though it turned out not to work very well, but to some people it works. It can be nerve-wracking to even consider approaching a co-worker or boss or subordinate. When I say boss, you cannot just a low person like you. You can't approach your work. I mean your boss in such a way that you expect him or her to get a crush on you, and you end up moving out together. This is ridic- ridiculous, and it's a nightmare. Well, you can't just approach them in a romantic capacity. A lot of companies have policies about intra office dating, including strongly discouraging it. But sometimes they discourage it, but you cannot hide your emotion. You cannot hide your feelings towards your friend. Love is magical. However much they try to terminate it, or however much they try to sabotage it from happening in the place, but it keeps on happening. But the fact is, attraction happens at the water cooler, at the office holiday party, at the dining hall down there. This at Nanjing Hotel, know it very well. Down there, you know what happens there. Uh, well, we're completing late night projects during coffee runs, even meeting at La Bamba, meeting at Lit Lounge. And Nanjing Hotel here at Lugogo Bypass it's really damn hot. Hot babes always come here. Customers, they are really beautiful, and you're clad in a uniform. There's no way you can really go on to that person and say, "Oh man, you're really very beautiful customer. How will I help you?" Besides something you're here, but I would love to have your number. I would love to meet you later when I'm out of this place and when I'm out of the uniform. So, well, simply put, people date people from work, and we need to be realistic about that rather than ignore it. The number speaks for themselves. according to according to a survey, according to a survey carried by a career builder of 778 American co-workers and Ugandan co-workers as well, the, the 38% of people reportedly having dated a colleague at some point during their career, and a full 31% of this, or a greatest percentage of those reportedly said they had they had it and ending up marrying that person from work, from as always, as very simple but really very nerve breaking. I tried it one time, but it was really very, 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 very hard. Dating a coworker is really hard. They are there are repercussions and turnbacks. You go into emotions because you're seeing your wannabe babe being smushed and touched by your workmate again. Then you feel like, oh man, what's really going on here? But it all has to happen in the same way as everywhere in the community. Whether you marry someone and you see someone again smushing them, is really very, very, very good. Damn it. This is likely because of the way you get to know a colleague. You are with them a good number of hours a day, and you tend to see them across circumstances, both when they are succeeding and celebrating victories, and when they have a hard time. You are always with them. They get you in a way others don't, because they are familiar with the work as well as the office politics. Plus, you can engage in pretty good banter of Slack. But though there are always new signings, when you see a new face at the place of work, they are new, really new. No one has really tried to go on to them, and you feel like, oh man, I want to be the first to go. I wanna be the first to go on them, and you feel like, oh man, the old one is now old and new ones are new. That's why you see always most people end up breaking and ruining their relationship. And it's also very, 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 like, let me say, for most of the men, or let me say boys and girls, the graduates and holiday makers who end up getting a job in the hotels, in the restaurants, in the bars, and what are places like that, place of enjoyment. Mostly they work for long hours, from morning till dawn. This is really very hard for them to find a stable relationship. Maybe you go outside at the park, at the beach, during your free time you meet someone who is most likely to be your children's dad, your children's mom. Oh, very hard to meet, really very hard to find them, because most of the hours you spend here, you're with your workmates. Mostly, let's take an example of Nanjing Hotel. Nanjing Hotel has been there for years. There is old Nanjing there at Impala Avenue. Then new Nanjing here at Lubuk Bypass, just opposite Kolo SS. They almost offer the same services, food. They have beautiful waitresses, handsome waiters, best service, best food, and best everything delivery at the quickest time possible. So here today, I will be talking about. In fact, let me base on Nanjing Hotel. I would always like to advise these ladies and gentlemen that since you've been working here for some good time, you know the working time, and you don't have really time to hang out there with your friends and family, and you have no time of being relating with the outside world. You cannot get enough time to date. What I can only advise you is that date a person who is working with you, date a person who has known you for some time. You've been with them together here at Nanjing Hotel. Date them, because you never know what may end up happening tomorrow. That person has known you. You've known each other. Date them. Never mind of the flaws, the strength and flaws you've been always going through, because these people have known you. This mostly goes to the ladies of Nanjing Hotel and the ladies who are doing the related work as this, waiting. I can advise you to date your fellow workmate, because you're always together all the time. You live here almost the same time. So this work you're doing is some kind of work which is hard and which can make you never to stabilize at your home, maybe with your new boyfriend, because they have no time. They have enough, in fact they have little time of being with you together. So never ever turn down that person who is working with you together. The person maybe has a crush on you and feels like he wants to have you as his own or her own, but you say, no, 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 I can't date a person who is working with me together. This is negative. I advise you, at least try to think over it again and again and again, because your workmate knows you and you know that person as well. Because never ever ever turn out that person. Maybe if the person is not your type, but still more will be coming to you at that very same place of work. Try to give them a chance, give them time, and you never know what may end up happening tomorrow. You don't know what God has for you in the store. You may end up living a very happy life, because here you will be staying together, living at the same time and coming here at the same time. There's nothing like saying that my girlfriend or my boyfriend is working somewhere and comes back late. If a man comes home at 7 p.m. and the lady comes home at 11 p.m. and leaves in the morning, that will make a very, 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 very sad relationship, full of regrets and full of quarrels and what have you. So please, I advise you, my fellow friends, fellow men, fellow let me say, ladies and gentlemen out there, I advise you, never ever look down on yourself, or someone who tries to approach you. There is always a myth or a belief that a lady can never ever approach a man. This is all the fashion today. This is a trend world, and this is modern world. Everyone is equal, be it a boy or be it a girl, be it a man or be it a woman. We are all equal. God created us equal, and no man can be ever above the woman, though there is that sex, or let me say, that inferiority complex, but still it's the same. You are a man and she's a woman. Whatever you have, she also has. Besides those known differences, I don't need to say that, but it's all the same. You are all human, so you don't need to step on top of your lady because you are a man. Just like other countries, mostly in African tradition, that the lady is supposed to kneel down, the lady is not supposed to own anything. That's all the fashion. So this is modern world. You lady out there, you feel free to come and approach me. You feel free to approach any man whom you got a crush on. Just go straight on to them, straight up to Captain. That just go straight to them. Don't fear them. Don't ever fear them. You you will end up, if you have that inferiority complex, you will end up losing while others earn it. So please, ladies and gentlemen who are working in the hotel industry, please never ever look down on those who try to love you because the salary they earn, how they behave here. No, that doesn't matter. So long as you end up living a happy life, that is really cool for you. Really, really cool. And if you try to uh, according to the recent survey, it's believed that the majority of ladies today, majority of girls today are single mothers, or mothers with, let me say, ladies of let me say, this is what they say, victims of failed marriages because they messed up or because they were tricked. So majority of the girls in Kampala, in Uganda here, are single mothers. It's now very, like, most likely you're most likely to find no girl who has no child, maybe school going girls. But it's all the same. Mistakes happen, everyone does mistake each and every day, but we end up living with them throughout the rest of our lives. If you're no mistake person, that means you're not a normal person. Mistakes are common, and God understands that people make mistakes, but you don't need to to live with those mistakes forever. You have to correct them. A perfect man makes a mistake and corrects it tomorrow and makes it be its inspiration, its motivational power, because he may try to do something else and say, recall, yesterday I made this mistake, so today let me try to check on this side. But all the same, you are gonna live it perfectly, really, really pretty perfectly. So please, it's not just co-workers either. Some people are doing more than just work for the boss. In offices, your boss can send you and say, "Oh, excuse me, Dora, can you take this to my office, or can you come to my office at this time?" While most people report, well, in fact, while most people, sometimes debt, those are their same level in the hierarchy. The research said recently conducted says 18% say they dated their bosses. Oh man, if I could ever get this chance of dating my boss, I will be another boss in the same height. Though sometimes I've been working with the bosses of different color, Chinese bosses, Indian bosses, but it will be a nightmare. In fact, it will be a myth or a myth, though some people say that a myth, for you, a black man, to date a Chinese lady. That is completely out of stock. Yeah, that's nearly 1 in 5. Women were more likely to date up to 35% of women. In fact, 23% of men. Women have got highest percentage of being dated by their bosses. Whether it's a boss or a colleague, bring dating into your professional world elicits dynamics far beyond just getting caught making out in a conference room. You see, while I was at school, there are students who were coupling, they were caught in toilets, in bathrooms. Oh man, they wake up early in the morning for morning preps and morning dawns. They call it dawns maybe morning dawns, and they're the first people to get into the prep room. And you know what? Metros will find them. Here's benches and desks being pushed. They touch, flashes a light on there and phone. Oh man, these are the little children, little angels. Oh man, this is really this is really very, 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 very funny. Uh, just go on, keep things under wraps, or inform someone else about the two of you or each other. What do you do if you start out on the same level, but one of you gets promoted? And the big one, what if it doesn't work out? Will you both be cool, or will one of you get vindictive? That word vindictive, I like it a lot. According to Rosemary Hoffner, Chief Human Resource Officer at Care Builder, to avoid negative consequences at work, it's important to set ground rules within your relationship that help you stay professional in the office and keep your personal life private, which is always good. You have to keep your life private. You have to be confined in your relationship and not ever make your relationship affect your work life. That's easy to say, but sometimes hard to do in real life. It's just like in film, in movies. Well, according to a survey done by Harris Poll, 24% of workers have had an affair with a co-worker in which one person was married. More of the married individuals were men, 27% versus 21% of women. Talk about complicated, and a total of 6% of people reported that leaving a job because the relationship ended badly. The difference was gendered: 9% of women compared to 3% of men. Women are most likely to leave a job because the relationship has ended. There has been downs and ups, but all still you can make it. You don't need to leave a job because your boyfriend or your girlfriend has ended the relationship. No, you work for your own money and they work for their own money. No one can ever come out there and say, you know what, have this money, have this, have that. No one. Money is money. Even me, I don't just come out and say that since your relationship has failed, you come this, you come and take this. Still, you will think that that last number will be higher. You think more office relationships will end badly and result in hurt feelings and difficult work meetings, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Let me give you some tips. In fact, here are a few common sense rules of thumb. Rules of thumb. If you do decide to do the dirty with someone from work, you did this, you did the other. Rule number one: dating literally is safer than dating up and down. That's why most ladies here call me darling, Oscar darling, because I know what they want and I know what pleases them and I know what will never stir them up. Start a relationship with a coworker in a completely different department and is the safest thing to do. That said, most people are more attracted to those in a similar job, probably because they have similar challenges and more in common. Either way, if you are going to do it, the best bet is to stay on your level, so to speak. Stay at your level and don't ever step out of your comfort zone, or don't ever go out of your limitation. If there is a power differential, try your best to stop working together. Oh man, that is really very hard. Though it's very hard to some people, but two quick anecdotes about this. A friend of mine was an intern at a hotel, one hotel, but where she found herself attracted to her boss, she spent the semester there, and was then offered an ongoing internship at the firm. She turned it down because she wanted to see where it will go with her boss. They hadn't done anything yet, even seeing one's party or saying, let it not be funny, but it happened. But she had a feeling and chose to pursue another internship elsewhere. They ended up dating and then getting married. Oh man, this is really good for them, and I hope this will work for those who get a crush on their co-workers. This really goes to you all. A story too. I had a friend who worked briefly at a trader's job where one of the woman managers told me she had been attracted to one of the guys on the floor below her in the hierarchy. Can you imagine hearing your boss mama telling someone that I had, in fact, there is one employee down there. He's a new guy, but he's really very handsome, and I really like that guy. I don't know how I'll meet this person, and I don't know how it's gonna feel to have this person by my side. They were very seriously dating at the point I knew them. It's absolute. In fact, it's obviously not always realistic to stop working together. But if you are both heavily invested in your careers at the company you are at, it's not fair to ask one person to, especially if you are in different levels of the hierarchy. Rule number three: be sure before you jump in. This is really my personal rule. Before I go or I jump onto someone, I first of all have to be sure of it before I go in. It's always been to resist the urge unless I really think it could be something. Casual relationships don't seem made for the office, but they say the research shows that if you do decide to go for it, one one in three people ends up marrying the object of their workplace affection. Those aren't bad odds. Oh man, let's wrap it up at this moment as we go in for another episode of this show. It's a live broadcast, and whoever is watching out there, feel free to throw in your comment. Feel free to give us suggestions for better improvement, and feel free to say whatever you're having inside your heart and inside your mind. This is a free platform for everyone. If you feel like you got guts to say it out, feel free. I will remain yours, Oscar Chrysler. As most people call me Oscar Darling, but I prefer being called Oscar Chrysler because I'm no longer a darling you guys thought I was. Things come and go, and things happen today and tomorrow. You keep on getting new feelings, new changes, new meetings, and new affection. So those who knew me as Oscar Darling, please, I'm sorry for you. I'm now Oscar, the one and the only one, and I will remain Oscar Chrysler, not Oscar Darling. Gone are days when I was a darling, when I was ladies' darling, but now I am Oscar. See you next time.